whatever path you are on, whatever inspired you to come here today, we honor you and we welcome you. And now, our message.
Good morning. Welcome to the Satya Center. I said earlier, I don't know if I can say that, welcome to the Satya Center, because we're not really there. And someone said, yeah, we're here. This is it. We're here. So this is our home for now. And it feels really good. It feels really good. And I have to say, it's really thanks to so many different people here. So I'm going to embarrass you, and I'm going to call you out. So many of you stepped up with this move. Many of you stepped up into leadership roles to help us facilitate moving from our little sanctuary over to here. Some people call this church in a box. So for now, we are doing church in a box, and it does take more help. So I invite everyone to come and get involved. So I'd like everyone that's a team leader, Lindy, Carol, and Kimmy, stand up. Who else is a leader? We've got Julie, we've got Mark, Kelly. Everyone that came to help this morning, just stand up. I want you to feel the full thanks of everyone. It really does take a village to build a spiritual community. And thank you so much, all of you, for showing up and helping so generously. I don't know if this is right that Lyle's sitting there in the back all comfortable. Look at that. Some of you don't know this, but Reverend Lyle and I have been spiritual partners for a long time. We actually went through practitioner training back in the 90s together. So we've seen each other grow and change, and I've seen him be embarrassed in front of big groups and find himself in front of small groups. And so this is just a milestone. This is a big milestone for all of us as we're going through these changes. So I'm going to push us a little bit this morning to sort of feel what it's like to be in a big room and to really ground into who we are as a spiritual community. So each of you, does everyone have a program? Okay, so I'd like everyone to stand up and hold your program and to read with me our mission and vision statement. So let's all of us take a breath, deep breath. Okay. Let's read it together. Our purpose is to inspire and foster spiritual expansion by allowing and embracing a loving, trans-denominational community. Our mission is to empower each other through teaching, healing, and serving for the highest good of all. Our vision is to remain open to all possibilities and the eternal awakening of our conscious awareness. So stay standing and take a moment to greet those around you with a namaste blessing, and just maybe a hug or a high five, or tell them you're glad that they're here. So for those of you that were with us 5 years ago when we first started on this amazing journey of bringing ageless wisdom, ancient wisdom, new thought to the Ogden area, you'll remember that we used to do a little welcoming blessing. So for those of you that that remember this blessing, you can stand up and join me to give this blessing out to everybody in this room. And so you can join in if you don't know. I'm going to prompt you. So if you'll stand up, those of you that know this, and just hold your hands out to direct your energy out to everybody in this room. And please say after me, we see you.
We see you.
We recognize you.
We recognize you.
We know who you really are.
We know who you really are.
You You are a unique way that love, intelligence, and divine beauty are happening on this planet.
You are a unique way
That love, intelligence, and divine beauty are happening on this planet. Today we celebrate your life.
Today we celebrate your life.
We appreciate you and we thank God for you.
We appreciate you and we thank God for you.
Welcome to the Satya Center.
Welcome to the Satya Center.
So thank you everyone for joining us at this very beginning of the new year. It's really quite auspicious that everything sort of lined up. We're here at a new space. We are beginning a new year, 2015, so Happy New Year. And we, at the beginning of the new year, most Science of Mind centers or New Thought centers like us start with going back to the basics of Science of Mind, back to the basics of this amazing book, The Science of Mind and Spirit, authored by Dr. Ernest Holmes. So for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be offering messages based on the introduction to this book. And so the first one, the first title, is The Thing Itself. So it's interesting, we're here at a new year, we're here at a new space, and we're introducing you to this amazing textbook that many of us have read from this New Thought, Ageless Wisdom tradition. So Dr. Ernest Holmes, who is Dr. Ernest Holmes? He wrote this book back in the 20s. And this book was a culmination of his wisdom that he had gleaned through studying many of the different faith traditions, philosophy, and science. So this book was never intended to be the foundation of any religious movement. It's more of a philosophy and a faith and a way of life. Really, it is the teaching of the science of living. The science of living. So this amazing book from our past, from the 20s, brings forth a very relevant message to us today. It introduces us to spiritual principles and practices that can serve us in our everyday living. It helps us with this human condition that we all seem to be dealing with. So as I was pondering this move and thinking of my journey through the Science of Mind, through the Centers for Spiritual Living, through my reawakening journey, and isn't that what we're doing here today? We come to the Satya Center, we come to places like this to reawaken, to wake up to that truth that you already know, the truth that is within you. And that's what this teaching is all about, is helping you to remember who you really are, or reawaken to your natural state of freedom. To your natural state of freedom. That's what this whole teaching is about. So I remember 26 years ago, I walked into the first Science of Mind Center. 26 years ago. It was when my youngest son was born. It was that same year. And I was a young mother and I'd been struggling. I was alone with 3 children. And I walked through the door of a Science of Mind Center and I felt at home. I felt they were speaking my language. They were speaking my language. And it probably had something to do with the fact that I had just finished reading the book You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Did anyone read that book? Yeah, it's sort of a self-help book. And as I read it, it helped me to move beyond a stage of feeling victimized by life, to realize that I actually wasn't a victim, that I actually had tremendous power, and that power was within me. And what I found out that day when I walked through the Vista Church of Religious Science, which was the name of the center down in San Diego, what I found out is that that author, Louise Hay, was in fact a Science of Mind minister. And so that's why I felt at home, because the loving, affirmative language that I heard from the minister at the front of the room was that same loving, affirmative language. The voice of truth, positivity, light, and love. So that's what we're sharing here today, is that message that I heard so long ago that many of you are hearing maybe for the first time, if you're here for the first time today. And for those of you that have been coming to Centers for Spiritual Living or the Satya Center, this is not a new message, but don't you love to hear it over and over again? Because the power is within you, and you are free to choose how to direct your power. And you do that through the thoughts that you think. That's the premise. That is the premise of this teaching. That each one of us is free to be, to do, and to have the life that we want, the life that you want. And you do that by engaging with the power within you to direct your focus of attention on what it is that you want. Ernest Holmes teaches that we cannot attract things to us unless we have that consciousness within us. Another way of saying it is, we can't pray for peace and live in anger and frustration. We have to be that peace, and then the universe will match that vibration with a greater sense of peace. We cannot pray for happiness and be angry. We cannot wish for prosperity and be stingy. We have to be what we're seeking first. Then the universe matches that vibration. We live in a vibration. We live in a system of energy and vibration. And we are a part of that. And we utilize our mind to activate that energy, that consciousness, so we experience it. Yes? Yeah. So back to the basics. Back to the basics of the science of mind. So I'm going to read to you. Where did my book go? Oh. So much space. So this first chapter is called The Thing Itself. The Thing Itself. And some people say, wow, what's he talking about, the thing itself? He's talking about G-O-D. He's talking about not the anthropomorphic God that many have created, the God with human forms and human attributes. He's talking about a system of intelligence. He's talking about love and law. He's talking about the mystery. Because we've been searching for this man on a cloud for a long time. Has anyone found him? We've sent rocket ships out to outer space. He's not been discovered. So I don't know if the search is still on or not. But we're told to have faith, right? We're told to have faith. So really, we've evolved over the years. We've evolved, and our idea of God has evolved over the years. So I know it's kind of funny, and I don't want to poke fun. Our feelings and our relationship with the God of our early religions, the God that we were taught to, that existed, maybe we still have fond memories. Maybe we have a relationship with that God. But maybe it can evolve, just like many things evolve over time. So that's what he's talking about as he refers to God as the thing itself. It's an evolutionary concept of an old paradigm, the old God. Someone said to me that God stands for good, orderly direction. I like that, G-O-D, good, orderly direction. And don't you feel you're in alignment with the greater good of the universe and you're moving in good, orderly direction? Isn't that very God-like? Doesn't that feel right? There's a natural goodness in this universe, and good feels good, good, orderly direction. God feels good. Spirit feels good. He's referring to it in this book as the thing itself. But he wants to kind of push us to think of a greater concept of what this mysterious God, first cause, Krishna, Buddha nature, the Atman. There's so many names for this thing itself. And no one's right and no one's wrong. It just all is. And however you enter into that space of the God of your understanding is perfect. It's perfect. So back to my reading. The thing itself. Dr. Holmes says, we see abundance in the universe. We cannot count the grains of sand on a single beach. The earth contains untold riches, and the very air is vibrant with power. Why, then, is man and woman weak, poor, and afraid? The science of mind deals with these questions. The divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God-ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. All instinctively feel this. The truth points to freedom under law. Thus, the inherent nature of man is forever seeking to express itself in terms of freedom. We do well to listen to this inner voice, for it tells us of a life wonderful in its scope, of a love beyond our fondest dreams, of a freedom which the soul craves. So we're here to celebrate that God of freedom, that God that speaks to us within ourselves. God isn't some far out thing. It is closer than close. As many of the scriptures say, it is closer than your breath. It is closer than your hands and feet. In fact, you are the thing itself. And you have the ability to create. You have the ability to create your life and your experiences through the thoughts you think and through the actions you take. So really, this reawakening, this waking up to who we really are, is a remembering that we have the power to align our thoughts with our words, with what we do, and how we feel. And when we're in that place, then we're in our fullest expression of God. We're in good, orderly direction. Can you feel that? So this year, 2015, how are you going to create good, orderly direction in the area of your health, your relationships, your beliefs, your finances, your vocation, your creative expressions? It's up to you. And that's this teaching. It always points back to me. It always points back to ourselves. It's up to us to be the change that we're seeking. It's up to us to embrace these teachings. It's up to us to be the presence of love. Ernest Holmes says it's all about love and law. This whole experience that we're dealing with, this life. Love points the way. And the law makes the way possible. So we understand, we work with the law, we work with the hidden energies in the universe through our thoughts. We direct the law with our thoughts. And we do it from a place of love, a place of goodness, and a place of kindness. All of us have this ability to be loving, and to be kind, and to be generous, to be happy. Doesn't that feel good? That's why we're here. And we have everything that is required within us to be able to experience that. I am that. I am. That's what we're waking up to. It's a great sense of freedom in that understanding, in that awareness, in that activation of energy. I can feel it in this room. I can feel the peace that is present within each of us. And when we get together, we create this synergy, this energy that is greater than the sum of the parts. That's why it feels so good to be in a spiritual community, to be around positive people, to be around people that are interested in the same things you're interested in, because it creates an energy, and we like that synergy, that energy. So I encourage you this year to get involved in learning more about how to utilize this very simple teaching of the science of mind, and all of the other teachers that support these teachings. Dr. Wayne Dyer, Marianne Williamson, Reverend Michael Beckwith, Deepak Chopra. All of these people have been showcased in the Science of Mind magazine because they understand this ancient, ageless wisdom. And it wasn't just Ernest Holmes that came up with this in the 20s. He brought this forth from years of study. This has been an ancient truth. This is the secret. This is the secret. So get involved. Pick up a book. Read it. Understand what the thing itself is. And learn to celebrate that every day through directing your thoughts. And bringing that beauty and that love through your participation with the laws of the universe. It's easy. It's fun. Thank you. Thank you, Lyle. So I would like to close with a...
with it like that.
So I'd like to close with a prayer. Something wonderful is happening right here in my heart, and it's this thing called the Satya Center for Spiritual Living. So as I sink into the awareness that there is only one life, it is my life. There is only one life, it is our life. There is one power, one presence, and it's happening right now. It is the thing itself, and it expresses in a multiplicity of form as this planet, as we know it, as all of nature, as the beings, the sentient beings that show up on this planet. There is one life. It is showing up right now as me and you. And as we unite in this awareness, as we reawaken to our true identity, it feels so good to be connected at a heart level with the truth of who and what we really are. So today I speak my word. I share this prayer. I know that each of us activates these capacities of faith with courage and strength and determination. That each of us clear away any negative or erroneous thinking. And each of us develop a habit of thinking thoughts that are a vibratory match to what we desire. Thinking thoughts of health and peace and harmony and abundance and prosperity and creativity and passion and joy. I know that each of us step forward this week with enthusiasm, with a sense of curiosity, looking for the good and praising it in others, being a representative of goodness and kindness. So I send this blessing out to everyone in this room and all beings beyond. May all people experience strength and health and wholeness. May all beings without exception experience harmony and loving kindness. And may all beings without exception live and love with ease. And I just see this blessing rippling out, going around this globe, touching every heart, lifting up every mind, and moving out around through all bodies of water, through all landmass, over all mountains, and out into the ethers, into the cosmos. That each of us remain this continuous broadcast of thanksgiving, of celebration, and of love. And for this I give thanks. And let us say together, and so it is.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence today and being a part of the Satya Center. You're invited to join Reverend Ali and Reverend Lyle each Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for your dose of connection, inspiration, and co-creation. The Satya Center is located at 795 24th Street, Ogden, Utah. For directions, a map, and our service times, please see our website, thesatyacenter.org. This program was brought to you by the kind donations from the members of the Satya Center. Thank you.